Are you getting messages like these?
Yep. Hey, nice job on that story, you soulless. Then also you'll see there's many people that are tweeting every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated, it got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life.
Yes, it will. But don't go anywhere just yet, because we're going to be talking about a new content cop. So we actually thought we found the original, we lost the original content cop, and then we found a new content cop, and it didn't really pan out. He was the content cop for about 48 hours. He broke in, stole the stuff, and then after all that was said and done, he kind of unceremoniously was removed from his position. He was the first time a cop was ever held accountable was when Cameron stepped on. Now this is the next up and coming content cop, all right? Boast Wiki. Hopefully we find nothing bad about him ever. Okay?
I'm here in New York City, the concrete jungle, home of literary lions.
So he's not dressed as a cop, he's dressed as like a deep southern man. He's dressed like Wavy Web Surf or something, I don't know. The way Wavy Web Surf talks.
Wall Street bears and reptilian reporters.
A hick? Is that a slur? I'm kidding.
But today, our focus is on one particular Viper who sits...
Dark Viper? Is it on Dark Viper AU? Dark Viper?
At the highest steps of journalism. That is the New York Times building.
What? This guy flew to the city to be outside of the New York Times to critique Taylor Lorenz. This is pretty based, alright? I think this is pretty fucking based.
And inside is a reporter who will suffocate your career like silent halon gas.
Let's go, farmer! Let's go! Dude, instead of saying the N-word with the ER, he's a farmer. Holy shit, dude.
They are a cobra of carnage.
It's another six-letter word that ends with ER.
They are the worst reporter working in media. And I think it's time someone
Nicholas
spoke out on their lies. Let's begin. That journalist is Taylor Lorenz. For those not familiar, she is a tech reporter for the New York Times that is frequently featured on the front page and read by millions of people who trust her opinion on millennials.
Now, update 3 years later, she's an independent journalist with a YouTube playlist for a series on free speech that has 2 videos currently uploaded to it.
And Gen
So I think she is she has slightly fallen off, but this video is still probably somewhat relevant.
Z. But should they? Because Taylor has quickly become one of the most toxic, deceitful reporters working in American journalism. And it's
really? I wonder how that happened, dude. I wonder, was Taylor always this way, or is it the long COVID? The long COVID that she was infected with that, like, changed her reptilian brain to be as disgusting as it is now.
When blew the lid off this.
Dude, I didn't believe in long COVID until I met Taylor Lorenz, and now I think I have it. I think she's a figment of my imagination.
Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
That's Pharma,
When will
you
you
racist?
either return to the cave or submit your biomass for cybernetic augmentation in servo-slavery?
Dude, I would love to submit my fucking body mass to become a robot, dude. I'm gonna be the new AI. Dude, AI can't replace me if I replace the AI first.
On YouTube. She has a pattern of bullying, deception, targeted
intimidation,
and lies. And for YouTube, who is watching this video very carefully, this is not curator
intimidation.
This is legitimate professional criticism by a peer. Here's me doing a story with Ali Watkins.
Well, yeah, because she's not a full-time YouTuber, she's a journalist, so she's not your peer, okay? So that, therefore, this is harassment, and you will be arrested, pending litigation.
So this is Ali Watkins, a reporter for BuzzFeed News. And I first became interested in this story.
Now at the New York Times. Here's me doing a story with Charlie Wiesel.
So once everything healed, I decided that I needed to...
Wait, we've got a fellow journalist here. By fellow, I mean I'm not a journalist, but like a fellow for Taylor Lorenz.
What's the name of the guy?
So this is Friendly Fire, dude.
Nick Oreo.
You're supposed to eat the avocado toast and shut the fuck up, dude. What are you doing? You're supposed to know better. Cringe? Cringe moment?
Now at the New York Times. Here's me doing an investigative piece on academic fraud with Yahoo News. This will be a professional video. Look, this is Brooks Brothers. Here in New York, we try to elevate our discourse. So today we're going to document how Taylor attacks women, how, in my opinion, she manipulates teenagers with her power imbalance, and what makes her reporting so...
Wait, what the fuck? What was the teenagers thing?
How, in my opinion, she manipulates teenagers with her power imbalance, and what makes her reporting so toxic to the YouTube community that it's time creators, influencers, and YouTube stop taking her press seriously. You see,
how many of you guys have seen this video? It's 3 years old, but I think it's more relevant than ever.
Taylor Lorenz's reporting is like a fractal.
He probably said kids. Yeah, I imagine.
In isolation, it appears chaotic and random. But the closer we look in this video, the more a recurring pattern will reveal itself. A pattern that shows this reporter is a clout chaser and a liar.
I think this has got some content cop aura. He kind of does his own thing a little bit here. He's not like wearing the outfit or doing the song, so I kind of see it. All right, here we go. La Belle et Monsieur Beast. I don't know. This is some French shit too. He speaks French.
In order to...
Is French 50% Arab, just to be clear? Is that what that is? Does French count as 50% Arab? I know Irish does. Does French?
To establish this reporter chases clout, we must first use...
Oh, MrBeast. I'm retarded.
One of Mrs. Lorenz's own tricks and go back...
Oh, this might have aged poorly, dude. 3 years ago, pro MrBeast segment.
Back in time. A few weeks ago, Taylor...
It's Beauty and the Beast? Oh no, I'm just actually completely brain dead. Never mind. I've been javated.
Lorenz put out a fishing line for any dirt on MrBeast.
No, it is MrBeast. Fuck you. I knew this.
Tweeted.
I didn't know this. I actually just guessed.
From her account of a quarter...
Looking to speak to some of the world's biggest MrBeast fans, people who knew everything about his content and have followed in every move. Is that you?
...million followers.
Looking to speak to some of the world's biggest
Hey yo, I said M. I was saying MrBeast and then biggest, or what is it? Biggest MrBeast fans. I was saying Mr. Yeah, I don't know. You can see what happened there. I just got on, dude. There's no N. There's no N in that. You can check it.
MrBeast fans, people who know everything about his content and have followed his every move. Is that you?
And I know not everybody spends their life on YouTube, so for people with
I cornered it right there. Oops.
real jobs, MrBeast is one of the most family
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it, but yeah, you're writing it in chat. That's what I was gonna say.
friendly creators on YouTube. His real name is Jimmy. He's a young guy who lives in North Carolina and is known for giving away money to working class and service workers. He famously gave away lots of money to
I think that's the closest I've ever come to saying the N-word on camera.
delivery drivers.
That's alright, yeah, that's alright.
Since you downloaded it, it's a good tip. Appreciate it.
But as a person with a media-trained eye, I can tell you this tweet is no friendly fishing expedition. She's like Captain Ahab aiming to harpoon MrBeast like a giant virus.
Wait, Captain Ahab, that's a Moby Dick reference, right? Captain Ahab is from Moby Dick? I think? Dude, I haven't read a book since middle school. I have no fucking idea.
Whale, which...
Oh yeah, whale, there it is.
She's a normal reporter.
I just saw Keffel's tweet on Nicholas.
Thank you.
Keffels appreciated the shout out.
I like your funny reply. You will be interned in my dreadnought when
Read a
you
book?
die.
Why?
You shall become Nicholas the Ancient of Memes, and you will destroy the enemies of mankind.
True!
And the Imperium.
Base, thank
the
you.
Emperor protects.
Also, thank you. You just hit the goal? Did that just happen? Cool, base, thank you.
Fine, but this reporter is more like a Soviet scientist who starts with the conclusion she wants and then searches backwards for any evidence
What do I
she can use.
Guys, can somebody tell me what value do I pull out of books that I can't get from a new Marvel movie? Can somebody tell me? What book will I read that's better than the fucking Netflix Daredevil series? Or The Last of Us Season 2 on HBO? It is HBO again, right? They took out the Max. What value will what will I pull from that?
That conclusion, even if it doesn't quite want to fit. And indeed, I was correct. My powers of prediction accurate. Because while I was working on this video, Taylor published this hit piece on MrBeast. With all the accuracy
Yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna really be empathetic to this, but this article was crazy when it came out.
of Soviet Lyshenko farming.
The story is roughly about...
Remember back when it used to just be an argument to say somebody was mean to MrBeast and everyone would applaud? Like, that's a great point. Holy shit, dude, what a great point.
Idolization of Elon Musk, but also how Jimmy
Nicholas,
has a toxic work environment
the goat.
and allegedly degrades some of his employees. At least according to Taylor and her subject Matt Turner and Nate Anderson.
Now, all stories are like houses.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I don't think Matt Turner was retroactively decided to be a good guy either. Do people really... There was a lot of MrBeast drama post-Dogpack, but I don't really feel like Matt Turner ever got a second look. Because he kind of just looked like an idiot the first time. But usually they go back and like retroactively tell you that all the people that you laughed at before were actually super right and based and epic the entire time.
Each narrative has a set of evidence that act as load-bearing walls that support the rest of the story. But Taylor is the cheapest contractor.
Yeah, the problem with Taylor Lorenz's biggest issue, I imagine, is that he kept donating money to like African children who really needed it instead of like creating more avocado toast locations outside of the New York Times building.
Her load-bearing walls? Well, her main subject, Nat Turner, has a history of contradicting himself.
Writing on Twitter, it was the most mentally degrading time of my life, and saying in Taylor's article, MrBeast used to degrade him every day and leave him in tears.
And then makes a video praising MrBeast.
If you have the opportunity to get this job that I had, totally take it. It's a lot of fun. Well, it was basically just like a friendship, and going to work was a blast each and every day. MrBeast.
I mean, this is something you have to ask about. It's not impossible for somebody to lie in a video like this to try to like maintain some kind of reputation moving forward, but it's not something you can intentionally ignore either.
I love you, bro.
Magically, that video did not make it into her article. Her second load-bearing wall for this article is MrBeast's
like when your article is just navigating around all of the bad things somebody did to try to all of the claims that don't match up with your overall narrative, just you kind of like swerving around those to make the point that you want to make, you're probably not a good journalist. You know? That's like, I have an end in mind, so I'm writing the article to achieve my goal, rather than like I'm trying to create some piece of media that will expand this story to a wider audience and get more eyes on it.
History of problem.
Like you're part of the narrative rather than just being the journalist telling the story.
Problematic slurs. Or as she writes, his early videos and posts were criticized for their use of slurs and offensive jokes. The person who criticized MrBeast for his slurs and offensive jokes was Taylor Lorenz. I know this.
Wait, I remember this! Is this the one where she cites an article that she wrote as a source for her new article? I forgot she did this, bro. Taylor Lorenz literally fucking sourced Taylor Lorenz in a fucking article. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Holy fuck, this just opened my third eye. I forgot about this.
Because this is not...
Yeah, the self-quote. It's like journalists have been saying, who's the journalist? Cites an article also written by Taylor Lorenz.
The first time, Taylor has workshopped a hit piece on MrBeast. She's been trying to nail him for years. It's 2018 and MrBeast is...
And by the way, it's so fucking funny that after MrBeast had a year of bad press, nobody remembers Taylor Lorenz. Nobody remembers her as like the one who's slain the dragon.
Searing to the top of YouTube like a SpaceX rocket. Taylor publishes this article. MrBeast has a history of homophobic comments. Extraordinary headline. You may have even seen it and judged MrBeast for it. But if we peer past the headline...
Dude, look at that. Look at that. Taylor Lorenz is the article who created the YouTube biggest philanthropist as a history of homophobic comments, right?
Her entire article is held up by 3 tweets. 3 tweets are her evidence for his history of homophobic comments. And
nobody remembers the Prism guy either. Dude, do you remember my takeaway for the Prism guy? I said like Dogpack was probably the lesser of 2 evils, but it's okay because history won't remember him. And that's like the first time I heard that guy's name in a real long while. Nobody remembers Prism at all whatsoever. I might have jogged your memory now that I've said his name out loud, but I was 100% right. We would never hear that guy's name again.
Tweets are, I will read the examples. In 2015...
Who? Prism is the guy who broke the Chris Tyson story. I'm not kidding you. You probably have wiped this from your memory, but he was the guy who like dragged out Chris Tyson's accuser and like convinced them that like he was trying to hire them for a job opportunity to weasel like information. Yeah, the guy in the park. I think he was in the park.
He tweeted,
yeah, dude, that guy is lost to time. I don't know what he's working on.
Gay, I guess in regards to his computer. In 2016, he tweeted, "I don't have a printer." And in 2017, he tweeted, "STFU." That's it. It's almost like this reporter wanted a provocative story on a big YouTuber, like here's her fishing line on Jake Paul, but all she could find were 3 tweets from his teenage years, so made a...
Yeah, it's like Nick has a history of homophobia. What is it? He said the F slur on streams sometimes.
story around that. Rather than let go and acknowledging there's no story and MrBeast is not a homophobe, she wove those 3 tweets together like she's Joseph making a dream coat. Call me generous, but 3 tweets is not a pan.
Clearly he hates gay people. That's my big takeaway from those tweets. He very obviously has a deep hatred for gay people.
It's nothing except for Taylor. The first thing we should know about this reporter, it's one of her reporting tactics, to mine newly famous people's Twitter accounts searching for anything negative they've ever written.
Meanwhile, this is Mrs. Anti-Cancel Culture in current day. She's got a... Dude, the one who looked up 3 tweets where MrBeast used the fucking F slur, right? Or said anything that could be remotely construed as fucking homophobic, has this fucking series of 2 videos talking about how much free speech is, like, important or whatever.
I call it the Twitter trap.
The Twitter trap. The act of rifling through years of a person's tweets to assign negative meaning to someone's character.
Like, she's not meaningfully different than, like, the people who went after James Gunn.
Select tweets are used to establish a pattern while omitting context or time elapsed between them. Can usually be done against anyone. A common tool of lowbrow journalism. Scientific term, cherry picking or p-hacking.
Taylor knows the Twitter trap well.
Also, yeah,
auto-deletes.
Another funny one. It's also kind of stalker behavior, isn't it? To go out of your way to find someone you're not even in conflict with, to dig up anything you could possibly use to write a shitty article about. That is some extremely weird behavior too.
All of her tweets every 90 days. She deletes them all and has for years. This New York Times reporter is too cowardly to stand by anything she tweets, but she has no problem mining a decade's worth of other people's tweets and assigning meaning to them that helps her make a viral story. And if the article she writes isn't enough to sink them the first time, she'll circle around and try it again a second time, even if it requires citing a subject who contradicts himself.
MrBeast, I love you, bro.
In her own flimsy prior history.
Where is that? The New York Times article. Hold on. New York Times, MrBeast. This is probably harder to find now. Homophobic comments, no.
MrBeast, I love you, bro.
In her own flimsy prior history with other people's she writes, even if it requires the first time, she'll circle around and try it again.
MrBeast YouTube star wrote, wants to own the world? Wants to own the... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Is stream down? It shouldn't be down. F. What's happening? Live stream. I have excellent connection here. You have to YouTube fucked up that time. Refresh. What happened? Refresh. It's fine. Oh, then it's literally just one. I just got one guide, bro. I'm actually so fucking mad right now. Holy shit, dude. Taylor Lorenz. Let me see. Yeah, who wants to take over business. That's what it is. Oh, you have to fucking pay, dude! I don't want to fucking log in. Dude. This is why I don't read articles anymore, bro. Holy fuck. I am not fucking subscribing to your shitty article. Fuck you. Oh my god. It's so difficult to just read something now. Not right now. No. Yeah, okay. Give me the article that I want. Holy fuck, dude. History of... I imagine she's removed this. Yeah, it's Mr. Donaldson has declined to be interviewed. A representative for him declined to address the working conditions at his companies, but said the videos with offensive content. Where is this? When Jimmy was a teenager, when he was first starting out, He used one or more occasional gay slur. Jimmy knew there's no excuse for homophobic rhetoric. I don't see. Oh, yeah. Is this it? New article. Yes! Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, it's still here. This was my favorite thing that ever happened ever. So look. Look. Where is this? Okay. Yet, Mr. Donaldson's rise as a creator, entrepreneur, like many YouTubers of his ilk, had been far from smooth. His early videos and posts were criticized for the use of slurs and offensive jokes, right? So this article was written by Taylor Lorenz in 2021. She is sourcing an article by Taylor Lorenz at a different fucking organization, citing the Atlantic article by Taylor Lorenz, where she is the one who is criticizing that. That's so fucking funny, dude. That is, I'm so glad I fucking logged in to see that. Literal dude, that's so awesome.
Second time. Even that requires...
The master lock sources the master lock, dude.
Subject who contradicts himself.
MrBeast, I fucking love you, bro.
Dude, two of her sources are somebody who contradicted their own story.
What's the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter?
And herself.
Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
Taylor Lorenz can eat an entire rotisserie chicken whole.
Based, thank you.
Prior historic work. Windows is gay. Now, Taylor will say, because I'm no fool...
Windows is gay, dude. This guy must hate gay people, bro.
...that her reporting is made up of 11 people. Quick edit in for evidence. I know Taylor will argue this because...
It's posted in the Atlantic. Yeah, it's literally from her. It's an article from fucking New York Times citing her writing a different article for the Atlantic. Same publication, no, different publication.
Told you I had receipts.
These particular tale of Discord messages came right after YouTuber Philip DeFranco had made a video also pointing out Matt Turner's...
A lot of people are saying this source. I made it up, literally. Dude.
video praising MrBeast and wondering aloud if Taylor was being entirely honest in her story.
But also now we're seeing a lot of pushback on social media against the claims in the Times article. And that's because of a now...
Could you imagine she's in a debate? Like, how do you know people were saying this, Taylor? You have a source for that? It's like, I know because I wrote an article about it when I said it. So people are... I'm people. People said it.
Deleted video from Turner, who of course is one of the main accusers in this article.
Taylor was not happy with Philip DeFranco and started writing on Discord.
She writes, I spoke to 11 former employees.
Oh my
some very
God.
senior and close with MrBeast, and people who worked with him. So this is not like one person. But Taylor doesn't state whether those 11 former employees agree with the assertions in her article.
Yeah, like, guys, source, I talked to people. What did they say? I talked to 11 people.
And what Turner, her main subject, says. Speaking of Turner.
And you gotta, like, was one of them dog pack? Like, now that means nothing anymore because we've heard, like, anonymous former employees thrown at us like fucking rabid animals, and we have no idea who any of these people are, if they're credible, because people have been fucking malicious before and literally lied and caught him in fucking... They've made Turner's videos worse. Not Turner. They made fucking Dogpack's videos worse by sourcing it, by allowing him to source them.
Turner posted that nice video about MrBeast, basically under duress. It's something I interviewed him...
Yeah, gun to his head, he fucking recorded that.
...about and talked to him about at length. Phil would...
Wait, so you fucking talked with him at length about why this video was released and you didn't include that part in the...
know that if he did research or simply even asked me. So Taylor...
Why would I have to ask you, bitch? It should be in your fucking article, you manipulative fuck.
...was aware that Turner had made a positive video praising MrBeast, interviewed him, spoke to him at length about it, and then chose to omit that fact in her article, and when...
Like, look at me. Oh, I'm too good to include the context. You should ask me personally. On what? You've got all my followers blocked. How the fuck can I reach out to you?
And it is pointed out that Turner, her main subject, has a video contradicting himself, praising MrBeast. She argues that...
Yeah, you need to do research into Taylor Lorenz's personal conversations. I thought you were a journalist, not a YouTuber.
Well...
dude, I fucking read the articles, you write the articles. Know your fucking place.
He made it under duress, even though I admitted the fact that I didn't include the video, nor the fact that he allegedly did it under duress, with no evidence cited for that. And we would all know this, including Philip DeFranco, if we had simply had the presence of mind to reach out to this New York Times reporter directly to ask her for the full context of the story, because she left out half of it.
Bruh. Oh my God.
Now, I won't read too much more of this. I think people have a right to
I was a little nervous that it started out with a Jimmy segment. This is pretty fine, dude. Pretty fire.
trash talk on Discord, but I will include a few quotes. Philip DeFranco, if you're wondering how Taylor talks about you behind your back, she writes, "This is gross of Phil and shows how these big rich creators don't want any accountability." She's referring to the video you made. It further emphasizes how these big creators have never and will never hold their peers accountable. I guess
that didn't age so very well, considering that everyone was against MrBeast after this like a year later.
Case doesn't factor into her opinion. Many of these big YouTubers also boosted Dobrik for years and Jake Paul even before that. It's really frustrating and maddening coming from Philip DeFranco, who postures as a journalist and even takes journalism grants for his channel. Okay, I'm in a Twitter war with Philly D, now f*** him, LOL. I hope you guys give Phil a piece of your mind. It's super gross to see him act like this and push right-wing and
oh my god. Wait, oh come on, dude.
Mainstream media rhetoric.
Dude, Phil DeFranco is right-wing because I don't agree with his position. These are the types of people we're talking about here, dude. This is insane. Everyone I don't like is a right-winger. Right-winger is a slur now.
Well, Philip DeFranco, your actions are gross. You're pushing anti-right-wing mainstream media.
You're a Nazi, Philip DeFranco. You're in bed with Nazis.
Your rhetoric, and she'd like her fans to give you a piece of their mind. Now, I really...
Oh, really? Wait, whoa. What do you mean, dude? You can't be fucking... Holy shit, dude.
Mainstream media rhetoric, and she'd like her fans to give you a piece of their mind.
You can't be doing that. That's harassment, dude. That's the harassment word. That's harassment, dude.
Now,
you can't express that.
I realize you two, Philip DeFranco and Taylor, made nice in the DMs. I know this because I had the Discord messages, but I thought it might be fascinating, Philip DeFranco, or Philip DeFranco's audience, or this audience, to understand how Taylor talks about people behind their back.
Also, interesting to note Taylor employs the tactic of sicking her fans on someone when they say,
yeah, look at this. I hope you guys give Phil a piece of your mind. If I said that, I would literally get mass flagged. If I turned around and I said the same thing about Taylor Lorenz, I would be deemed like a malicious Nazi harasser, just to be clear.
Something she dislikes, but a tactic that is widely viewed as gross and harassment when done by influencers in the...
Well, somebody posted, this is actually a good fucking segue. I put a thing out on Twitter today, and I think it's relevant to this discussion. This thread is probably one of the funniest things ever. If you want to go in my Discord and find some funny comments from this thread and post them, if this is still up, it's going to be a fucking content gold mine, dude.
Nicholas!
Holy shit.
Thank you for the $5.
Look at this. I noticed that channels like Turkey Tom, Diesel Patches, Cheeto, and Sensitive Society exhibit right-leaning attitudes and often act as apologists for conservatives. Conservative apologia. Why is that, though? What is it about drama slop that attracts these people? I find this concerning because these are currently some of the most popular drama channels on YouTube, making it very easy for them to create or twist narratives in their favor with how biased and like-minded they are. Okay, so do you know why this is happening? Do you know why a lot of the YouTube drama is what they deem to be right-wing? Well, there's two reasons here. Because the people who are writing these posts think that liberals are fucking right-wing. Okay, everybody's right-wing. Every single person that you don't like is right-wing. You don't know anything about their politics. You have no idea what their positions are on anything.
Nicholas DeOrio's latest
but everybody is right-wing. So that's the first reason. And the second one here is because all of the leftist people, all like the far lefties or any of the bread tube people, they all snub their nose at drama. They act like they're better than everybody else. They're not interesting or engaging enough to like hold an audience, so they pretend they're better than everybody who covers drama, and then they have to do 17 preemptive statements on why they're actually going to cover it when they choose to actually do it, right? So when you sit here acting like you're better than something, when you insult the audiences who consume this content, you are just ceding this ground. You're giving this away. The reason why there are so many quote-unquote right-wing or apolitical influencers is because the left-wing people just chose to give up on you and they don't try. So they don't have a presence in this space at all whatsoever. Because, again, they think they're better than everybody else. So that's why this is happening.
YouTube community.
I won't air any more Discord messages. That's enough of this. I tell you this MrBeast story because it sets the tenor of her reporting, negative and manipulative. It establishes this New York Times reporter will seek to find a pattern where...
That's because they are, Nick. I know you're joking, but like if they actually were better, they would be able to be financially lucrative in their own scene. If the bread tubers were so talented and so intelligent and so smart, they'd be able to cover the current Trump thing and grift their way to a paycheck. But instead, half of these people are begging their audience for money these days because they can't pay their bills. So maybe they're not as talented or smart as they think they are. Maybe they should have played ball.
None exists. We'll assume the most negative intent from ambiguous situation. Windows is gay, and run stories where her main subject contradicts her own thesis.
MrBeast, I love you, bro.
But most importantly, she will disregard the journalism principle, minimizing harm. Taylor Lorenz doesn't
Oh no, it's harm for thee and not for me. That's her thing.
care whom she harms on her quest.
I don't know what a bread tuber is, and at this point I'm afraid to ask. I don't really know the origins of why they call them bread tubers specifically, but it was like the movement of left-wing video essays on YouTube, probably closer to like 6 or 7 years ago. At this point, I've just continued to use the phrase. I would like qualify Xander Hall is more of a streamer, so I don't necessarily know if I would... Like Noah Samson, FD Signifier, those are the types of YouTubers I'm talking about. Those are like the successful ones. But for every Noah Samson and every FD Signifier, there's a guy begging for people to pay rent right now because they're just too fucking lazy to make content. It was some Breadlines meme. There's a Wikipedia article. Yeah.
For virality. And we're just getting started.
FD Signifier made a video about what bread tuber actually is. That feels like me making a video saying like, hey guys, I know a lot of people call us slop tubers, but this is what a drama YouTuber really is. I imagine it's probably a historical video and not a cope video, but it sounds like a cope video.
The same year, MrBeast was labeled a homophobe, two entrepreneurial women, Jackie and Claudia Oshry,
Nicholas,
the Instagram
the goat.
account Girl
I
with No
appreciate
Job.
that.
It was their livelihood. And if you're a female millennial, you may even be wondering, oh yeah, what did happen to Girl with No Job? Taylor
Does anybody know what this
happened
is?
to Girl with No Job.
What is Girl with No Job? Guys, I usually have like 10% women in the audience. Actually, it's like 23, 25. I imagine on some of these streams it's a bit higher.
Nicholas,
So maybe
the
somebody
goat.
here can
Thank you
help
for the
me with this.
$5, my man.
This is good news. Don't know, don't care. Well, I mean, there's plenty of other streams then. Oh wait, no, there's not. It's just me.
Job. Taylor Lorenz
boxed
for views. For some reason, Taylor
Girl with No Job. It's me, bro. Oh no.
Lorenz's clout radar locked on to Jackie and Claudia Oshry. I'm not sure why, and neither is Claudia. Perhaps it has something to do with them being young, successful, entrepreneurial women. Taylor seems to have a pattern.
Every girl in the chat who is jobless is now taking ownership for the podcast. That's amazing.
Of attacking them, but more on that later. Like MrBeast, this reporter saw an opportunity to cash in on Girl with No Job's virality. She began digging into the private lives of these young girls. It's so much easier when your subjects are young. Am I right? Did she find Claudia or Jackie breaking the law? No. Did she find Claudia or Jackie doing anything morally wrong? No. However, as usual, this reporter did discover some mean tweets they wrote as teenagers.
Taylor again using the Twitter trap despite deleting her own tweets.
Yes.
But even more juicy, she learned the name of Claudia and Jackie's mom, Pamela Geller. And Pamela Geller was a Trump supporter and an Islamophobe. Taylor found out who Claudia's mom was, and then used Claudia's mom's name and history as a weapon against her. To build a
But like, what do these two podcasters do to Taylor Lorenz?
Viral story around her. And that story was to expose their mother-daughter relationship to the entire world. Publishing the article, Instagram stars hiding their famous Muslim-hating mom.
Holy shit, dude! Hiding their Muslim-hating mom is some fucking... Okay, this is weird.
Pamela Geller. The story immediately broke waves the size of the San Andreas Fault. It's a scoop, yes, but one we should all feel gross about. Because Taylor publicly
boxing
Claudia's mom forces a situation where the daughters must respond by one, either publicly disowning their mom in order to save their Instagram account and brand, or two...
Is this really like out of nowhere? Like, what is the context to this? This is just like, I didn't have a story this week, so I found out who their mom was.
Choose not to publicly disown their own mom, but create the perception that they now tacitly approve of their mom's kooky beliefs. Taylor knows this and sticks the metaphorical knife in them, writing, quote, "None of the girls have spoken out."
I mean, it kind of goes with the established behavior of like the targeting of MrBeast for like mean tweets. It seems like that was like a thing that Taylor did early in her career, and nowadays she just lies. Like in the past, it was like, oh, I'm gonna find out every time you said like the N-word. Now it's just like I'm gonna make something up.
Denounced their mother's extremist views. In fact, the daughters had gone to great lengths to conceal their connection to their mother. Family photos, including their mother, have been stripped from their Instagrams. Like the MrBeast article, this story reads like the reporter wanted...
Like, what is... Dude, they've removed photos of their family from their public-facing Instagrams. Yeah. Maybe that was for a reason other than, like, hiding her beliefs from the public. Maybe the intent was to just, like, I guess not put the family members up there for everyone to see.
A negative story on Claudia.
Hey, what?!
And then sought out anything they could use as evidence to push her in a bad light. In this case, her mom. A story exposing the sins of someone's parents, but not them, telegraphs a design...
You know what this reminds me of? Do you guys remember when we were fucking making... Oh god, we did this. I forgot we did this. Do you remember when we were fucking making jokes about Ethan's dad being a gooner? Because Ethan's dad got exposed for fucking tweeting it... like random sex workers and shit. But like he was doing it on a public-facing account. And that was funny. This is like... I want to fuck up your career, so here's your mom's fucking racist past. Huh? You don't remember this? When Papa Klein got exposed for being a gooner on Twitter? There's some RFC After Hours episodes that you should check out.
Click.
I think Ethan addressed it. Ethan read some of the messages with his dad, didn't he, on the stream? This is years ago. This is back to like 2020.
And hurt for these women. And this article hurt Claudia badly. Right.
Gary Gooner. I don't think the word gooner existed back when that happened. Honestly, that would have been a funny nickname if that word kind of was used back then.
The media canceled her show. Her agent...
It's H3 lore. Yeah.
Dropped her. Her management dropped her. Partnerships dropped her. Her career was effectively over. But worse, this reporter's story possibly recklessly put Claudia and her sisters in danger. 6 months prior to Taylor publicly exposing Claudia and Jackie as Pamela Geller's kids, the FBI had caught an reporter plotting to murder Pamela Geller.
Holy shit, dude! Holy shit! Okay, I've never seen this video. Wow!
Someone was actively trying to kill... A person was actively trying to murder Pamela Geller when Taylor publicly went, "Oh hey, by the way, those are her kids," to the world. Perhaps the daughters, as public figures, had a legit...
I don't know what the context to that is, but like... How do I say this in the nicest way humanly possible? This is not an indictment on Muslim people in general, or Islam specifically. But you've got to be real fucking careful what you tweet about, like Prophet Muhammad. Okay? You have to be real fucking careful. Okay? Because there are crazy fucking extreme people who will like go at insane lengths to come after you. I don't know if this is related to just the mom story and Taylor Lorenz, but you've got to be fucking careful.
Legitimate safety reason for hiding...
No, you don't. Yes, you fucking do. If you're any public figure with a sizable audience and you say something, I guess, something inflammatory, you're putting a target on your back. I do think that you are. There are some crazy fucking people. Like, I wouldn't fight with, like, fucking lolicons, because those people, like, operate in groups. I don't necessarily think that, like, all Muslim people or even Muslim Twitter does this, but there is a certain radical sector of people who will try to make your life a living hell.
Their relationship with their mom.
Do not draw him. Yeah, do not draw Muhammad on Twitter. That's not a safe thing to do.
From the public, beyond just their brand deals. They didn't want to get killed. So Taylor, when
Lolicon people act in groups... Dude, Lolicons absolutely act in groups. If you say one fucking thing about Lolicon, a Discord server worth of people are going to start fucking blasting your Twitter. 100%. It is not even worth fighting with those people. You're going to get mauled by some of the most disgusting freaks you've ever seen. Every time. Yeah, no. I am comfortable grouping those people together. in comparison, in contrast.
After MrBeast for a few problematic tweets, and went after Claudia and Jackie for a problematic
Same with Maps. Maps are not as out and about as lolicons are.
mother, which is funny.
Back in the day, right? The lolicons would like get you fucking banned. They would just mass report your accounts and get you banned for being critical of lolly. That was something that used to happen too.
Because Taylor knows all about.
Like, I don't fight with like the Rev says Disu type communities either. Like, stay away from those people. It's just not worth the engagement.
Problematic takes. In 2017, Taylor was at the Charlottesville rally and reported that the hate-filled driver who mowed into a group of people and murdered a person did it essentially, according to her, on accident. Tweeting...
Wait, what?
She spoke to...
Are we talking about the guy who went like tee-hee swerving through protesters? Is that who we're talking about? That seems like a weird position for her to take. Wait, which one are we talking about?
Anyway, several police officers here at the station think the guy running people down wasn't malicious. They said the driver was scared.
Well, yeah, I'd be scared I was going to jail after I just ran somebody over with my car. Yeah, 100%. I'd be pretty fucking flustered.
Thank you for that. Taylor? Now, I know Taylor tried to delete these tweets, but she dug up MrBeast's tweets, so...
Yeah, I think this is fair to criticize her for, even if she was wrong early, because she is just a malicious fucking tweet searcher.
I'll dig up hers. She goes on to say that the counter-protesters, or as the media would later deem non-violent protesters, were, quote, according to her, the car is being swarmed by protesters, some of them who are getting violent. The police say the car was covered in dents and...
I don't know which... Dude, this has happened so many times. I was thinking it was like the...
Nicholas! The goat.
The fucking... The southern dude who just ran through the fucking brigade of climate protesters. But I'm starting to think that's not who we're talking about here.
Apparently hit by a bat. They're throwing rocks, bottles, and shoes. But when her reporting, and these tweets later did not fit the dom...
Like, what is the political leaning of the person who ran through protesters? Just curious.
Narrative.
No different driver. A lot of people have run through fucking...
Deleted her problematic reporting. Tried to scrub it off the internet. She deleted these tweets and pretended like she never made a big mistake. Or was it a mistake? Given what she recorded, wrote, and then deleted, either she was an incorrect witness, misreported what she saw, then deleted her problematic report.
Yeah, there's got to be like a higher standard of evidence before a fucking journalist is posting stuff. Like, I gotta be honest. Like, you have to be, like, correct about some of this stuff, I think. I think that you need to be, like, harshly criticized if you're shooting from the hip as, like, as an actual journalist.
Pretend like she never said anything else. Or she tweeted a narrative of events, and when that narrative of events contradicted the prevailing narrative enough, she wanted to be on the correct side of history, and decided she would just try to scrub her problematic reporting, erase it, and quietly go with the new narrative and act like she never said anything different.
Oh, please tell me she lies about this. That would be very funny.
Which, as we know, this lack of accountability and waffling on what is the true story is the kind of journalistic ethics we would expect from the prestigious New York Times. But the larger question is, why did this reporter editorialize her own narrative on top of the footage she was already filming for The Hill? Like her tweets, I found her live stream. And the video reporting is fine. The video captures accurately what occurred. But then she tweeted that protesters violently swarmed the car, throwing rocks, bottles, and shoes, only to magically delete those tweets and claim she was live streaming to over 3 million people when that's false. Anyone can check the actual number is 1.3 million, which seems like...
Wait, why would she inflate that? That's so funny.
Like a small...
And that's views. That's not live streaming. Wait, hold on. I was streaming in front of 3 million people implies 3 million concurrent, not 3 million total. Like, right now, this stream has 27,000 views. I'm streaming in front of 5,700 people.
Small lie, but Taylor lies everywhere. That's what I'm getting at. It's easier to catch Taylor lying, this New York Times reporter lying, than a T-ball tossed by a toddler.
Yeah, dude, I'm shocked that nobody has brought this video back up yet.
So, along with her...
Because it's just so much new context that nobody remembers.
Lack of accountability and waffling on stories or numbers. The digging up of other people's tweets.
the doxing of people's moms, I'm starting to get the vibe that maybe this reporter is a bad actor and has a problem telling the truth.
All right, now we're
The
dude,
goat.
pathological liar. I'm hyped for this segment.
In the past 2 months, Taylor has at least twice publicly lied about Netscape founder Mark Andreessen. Two big factual errors for a New York Times reporter.
Let's keep going.
Curiously, also like Claudia,
He used witchcraft to talk to me, clearly.
a successful woman. So what's the story here? Okay, Zeneb 2 years earlier had called our reporter unqualified to report on social media, and Taylor
And it's funny, if he did hear me say that on stream, that I don't want people to drag me into this, and then he willingly went in private calls and started dragging me into it. Like, why do you even pretend to be a fan of my content if you're just like a fucking clout demon? Like, why do you have to sit here and pretend that you enjoy my fucking streams if you intentionally do that after watching all the other people who have screwed me over?
never forgot it. 2017, Zeneb had wrote, her responses to Tressie were condescending, ignorant, and rude. She deleted them, so you can't see how out of line she was to someone who was politely commenting. Tressie is brilliant, and Taylor's utter rudeness was just unacceptable. I'm surprised the journalist is surprised. To me, that's a sign she's unqualified to report on the attention economy. 2017, 2 years later, Taylor Lorenz begins subtweeting her, but a New York Post reporter named John Levin recognizes Taylor chirping at Zeneb and calls it out. Kellyanne Conway's 15-year-old daughter, Claudia, making eye-popping TikTok videos about her family. These videos were frequently intense, dramatic, and unsettling.
I have people supporting me right now. Don't touch my phone. My live stream.
You need to turn it off right now. Then we'll get back to it. I gotta tell
Why?
you something. You can get back to it. Turn it off. Hi. Turn it off now, baby.
No, I'm not okay. Thanks, guys, though.
Immature. Before you get it all over the sheets that I cleaned.
Can you stop?
No, you don't ignore me.
I recommend watching.
I saw
Nicholas
disassociating.
DeOrio's
I just
latest
remembered
video.
fucking dissociate ID or whatever.
FPS Diesel's video is shaky at best, openly malicious at worst. Papa Gut covered it well. But this guy Cameron seems like a scumbag leech who isn't worth defending.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I have no vested interest in helping anybody in cases like this anymore. I have none.
Asshole. I text them all day long. And they're paying attention to you because they know.
And these videos would frequently go viral. And the initial viral boost behind Claudia's videos? New York Times reporter Taylor Lorenz.
Dude, Taylor Lorenz is fucking everywhere, bro.
Who was sharing these videos with her 200,000 Twitter audience, saying, quote, Claudia is not holding back, end quote. Now, of course, Taylor has deleted her promotional tweets in an attempt to hide that she ever did this.
Wait, isn't Taylor Lorenz the one who tried to go after Wayback Machine because they were archiving too many of her tweets that was leading to harassment? Is that a thing that happened? Fact check. Taylor Lorenz did not use family connections to remove internet from Internet Archive. Yeah, you're right. There's no evidence Taylor Lorenz and Brewster Kahle are related. Then what did she do? Journalist Paul Thacker posted a thread concerning journalist Taylor Lorenz. Thacker's thread is part of the ongoing Twitter Files series, which has seen a number of figures gain privileged access to Twitter to detail Musk. Thacker singled out Lorenz, saying she had taken actions to ban an account that was critical of her. The account detailed Lorenz as a Manhattan rich girl who attended the Swiss boarding school, whose uncle owned the Internet Archive, and then erased her past. So supposedly there's no evidence that that's her actual uncle, I guess. But I'm pretty sure there was like a Internet Archive erases Taylor Lorenz's Twitter page.
In all of life.
Not Twitter, yeah.
That's a basic eternal rule. And unfortunately, I believe it's a rule that many parts...
Like, this is why I think Taylor Lorenz deserves more hate. Like, the internet has, like, created new rules to, like, let her fucking absolutely obnoxious self navigate around what everybody else has to deal with as an online figure.
...of America have forgotten. Particularly places that have
Go tweet it now. I gotta be honest with you, chat. I didn't even see this segment yet. I tweeted it 3 hours ago. You think, dude, you think, oh, bro, no, I don't have to tweet it. It's been posted for 3 hours. Holy shit.
Predictable. But I found Bustle's reporting, Slate Magazine's reporting, Business Insider's reporting, Washington Examiner, quote, in June, Claudia had about 31,000 followers.
I'm so many steps ahead, dude.
Taylor boosted her celebrity to hundreds of thousands.
Like, I think that there should be people archiving every single thing she says or does, and I think that's a reasonable assessment. If if you can't archive it the conventional means, I don't even call it stalking at that point. She's got something to hide.
Of Twitter followers, Claudia's own TikTok following skyrocketed to nearly 650,000 followers. So we know Taylor was boosting Claudia, even if ever since she's tried to hide it. Again, interpersonal family problems are rarely solved in front of the public, particularly when you have a New York Times reporter promoting the drama for sport. Indeed, people criticize this adult New York Times reporter for sharing 15-year-old Claudia's videos. And Taylor's response? Taylor argued that she had done nothing wrong because she and Claudia were, quote, mutuals, end quote, and that Claudia, quote, literally...
Okay, hold on. No, you're a fucking journalist. What do you mean you're mutuals? What do you mean you're mutuals? That shouldn't play a factor in it. That's when you absolve yourself from the situation. Dude, how could you even pretend to be unbiased when your defense for this is we know each other?
Talk to her. End quote.
And why are you mutuals with a 15-year-old?
About getting more followers. So, a New York Times reporter is just graciously helping teenagers get more followers on TikTok.
This is weird.
Or...
I've never heard this before.
Is it more likely that the favorite...
I can't hit the button. They're gonna sue me if I hit the button. Okay, I'm gonna hit the other button. That never happened. There is no allegation against Taylor Lorenz for any type of misconduct. That was a satirical riff on my adult show, and I do not accuse Taylor of those things.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
Will be used as leverage to extract information from teenagers.
Thank you!
If they become valuable as sources like Claudia. I think the term is...
What's the name of the
Power
guy
imbalance.
from Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
Taylor Lorenz creates a power imbalance. But even when 15-year-old Claudia's dad, George, pleaded with the media to desist from contact with her daughter, Taylor continued. George, quote, to journalists.
You're something of a journalist yourself.
Kelly and I do not consent to any communications between you and our minor...
Bro! This is where you yield. I do not consent to any journalist contacting my minor daughter.
Children.
This is where you yield, yeah.
Daughter,
unless you've got fucking bulletproof shit to talk about.
So desist. Even after that, Taylor continued to amplify his daughter's posts. Why? Because establishing a, quote, mutual, end quote, as she calls it, relationship with 15-year-old Claudia is not an anomalous event. Seems to be Taylor's MO, like when she established contact with 15 or 16-year-old AJ Mitchell in 2017, so she could use him as a source.
Like, what's next? Is she gonna fucking find the Costco guys, dude, and try to ride off of their coattails too?
When he turned 18, in her article, Jake Paul promised them fame, was it worth the price? Or 17-year-old who was given quotes in one article and then felt pressured to say something negative about another person in the second article. You see, this New York Times reporter likes to talk about TikTok. TikTok is a hot topic, and a lot of TikTokers happen to be very young people. Now, does this New York Times reporter approach reporting on young people with the thoughtfulness and grace we've come to expect from her? No.
No, she's like a glorified like she's actually a YouTuber disguising herself as a journalist who follows none of like the journalistic integrity standards you'd expect for someone who parades themselves around as like a former New York Times journalist. That's probably the best way to put it.
Taylor told
Like, she's just trying to ride the clout ladder and get more popular, get more famous.
Digiday that the parents of the teens she talks with for her stories, quote, often aren't fully aware, end quote, that she's in touch with them. Allow me to quote the article. The biggest, most challenging thing about my job is getting teenagers to talk to me on my phone or having them let me into their house. A lot of kids don't want
a glorified what? What did I say?
Anything to do with it, especially if their parents aren't fully aware
Wait, did I? Oh, fuck.
of what they're doing.
As a formality, do you mind if I tape on my end? I'm not gonna name you. I'll keep you anonymous. It just
for sure.
Were you like hopping on calls? Like these were phone calls, right? You were talking with Taylor. Yeah. And
wait, whoa.
Especially if their parents aren't fully aware of what they're doing.
As a formality, do you mind if I tape on my end? I'm not gonna name you. I'll keep you anonymous. It just
for sure.
Were you like hopping on calls? Like these were phone calls, right? You were talking with Taylor. Yeah. And your mom was listening too, right? Or no?
No, my mom was not listening.
Oh, okay. So did Taylor ever reach out to your mom?
No, she never reached out to my mom.
She just went straight to you.
Yeah, this seems really inappropriate. It depends on the context of like why they're reaching out, I guess, maybe. I'm not sargoning it. I don't think it depends on the influencer here, but this is weird.
Did that strike you as odd?
For me?
Yeah.
For me, it didn't too much just because of, you know, like 2021, like everyone reaches out to everyone somehow these days.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, I kind of understood that in a sense. Then again, I also kind of saw it coming because I knew that she was kind of working on the article. So like, I was kind of like told like, oh, you like watch out if you get this message because like you should respond to it.
Oh, okay. So, wait, one of your friends told you that, or like one of that?
Yeah, no, one of my friends.
Wait, so she's just reaching out to like everyone in this friend group of mine.
Okay, so it was like, hey, Taylor's working on an article. Respond if she messages you.
Their parents aren't fully aware of what they're doing. Luckily for Taylor, quote, women have the advantage here.
Like, she just sees the opportunity to take like a cloud-obsessed kid who wants to be more famous, and they'd go, wow, look, I can be in an article, and then pull from them specifically.
I think it's much easier for me to slide into these people's DMs in a non-threatening way than from a male journalist in his 30s kind of DMing random teen girls.
Wait, what?
Women have the advantage here. I think it's much easier for me to slide into these people's DMs in a non-threatening way than from a male journalist in his 30s kind of DMing random teen girls. So I definitely use that to my advantage.
All right, that's kind of weird. I'm denimsing it right now. You can't see. My jaw is just dropped, dude. Wait, so it would be creepy for a 30-year-old man to be doing exactly what you're doing, and you're using that to your advantage? Yeah, this person's fucking crazy. This is weird.
I definitely use that to my advantage. She uses her gender and her well-developed social skills to establish connections with minors so she may mine them for material or a source.
I think that the only reason this video doesn't have more views is specifically because Taylor Lorenz is not a notable figure. Like, this level of research on... Oh my god. Bro, I've never seen sources like this, ever. This guy's got every link. We could just jump to it. Holy fuck, dude.
Without their parental knowledge. I don't really use email. My Instagram DMs is the first thing I check in the morning.
I think that he's the content cop. Step aside, posers. This is the content cop.
Them to feel casual enough that they could message
He's a journalist? No, he's the content journalist.
me at any time. Here's a text of a 17-year-old.
Don't say that. It's called content cop. He chose this. He chose this mantle. And we left him to die.
TikToker saying they're...
Is this guy still posting? What is he doing now? Boost Wiki? The history of John Green. This... Oh my god, dude. This guy's channel is like... I don't know if these videos are of the same quality.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
Okay,
man.
wait. Hold on. Okay, wait a minute. Why the USA should escalate the Ukraine war now. Oh no, dude. Well, I don't know. I gotta look at the content first before I make any sweeping judgments.
Scared of Taylor. Which is not
Could be
that
satire. Yeah, it
unreasonable
could be satire. Could be satire.
You're a 17-year-old TikToker talking to a 36-year-old New York Times reporter who has the power to make or break.
All right, until I watch more videos, we're localizing the support to this one.
Reputation for the foreseeable future. I think the term is power imbalance.
I didn't have really any conversation with her.
Okay, with...
And normally I hate the power imbalance argument. The only reason I'm even giving it any credence here is because she's literally saying, like, yeah, dude, I take advantage of the fact that it's not, like, abnormal for a woman my age to target. By the way, a woman her age is even funnier, because this is another point of contention for Taylor. Is this in the video? Taylor Lorenz has, like, she has lied about her own age so many times to the point where it is ambiguous how old she actually is. There's a whole meme of, like, how Taylor Lorenz has lied about her age. Where is this? Yeah, Taylor Lorenz is 40 years old, is what it says on Oracle. Age rumor. Hold on. Fact check. Taylor Lorenz is an attractive younger woman. I don't think that's gonna get... Okay, I'm not gonna watch... Okay, well, this article is from the Washington Free Beacon, so I'm gonna look for something a little bit more. Wikipedia says she was... Dude, oh, that was funny! Wait, dude, okay. Dude, okay, we're gonna watch Fox News for a second, but there's a reason why we need to... I can't... Oh god, dude, I can't watch Fox News because they're demanding me to put ads on. Hold on, run with me on this, because they have the clip, and I think it's been deleted. Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. There's a fucking ad, dude. I hate legacy media. I fucking hate legacy media. I fucking hate the Washington Post. I fucking hate New York Times. I fucking hate Fox News.
Coming to Tucker Carlson tonight, last year, unbeknownst to the...
Do we have the Wikipedia page? Fuck. Hold on. I need to find this really quickly. Holy shit, dude. I literally can't navigate. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. You're gonna watch me try to do this. I literally can't What is this fucking feed? What is this? Please tell me what this is. How do I get back to...
anyone. Certainly was not...
Who does a video player when you try to hover over it, it opens more videos? Who fucking created this? Just use YouTube, dicks.
Playing tape of people talking about port on... Not that... People, no one on
Nicholas,
really
the goat.
Effective.
Thank you for the $5,
no,
my man.
It's American citizen. Wait, is that legal?
And it was a dead end. And it was a fucking dead end. I'm actually seething. I'm actually fucking seething. Oh my god, dude.
The goat.
Fuck legacy media, bro. Fuck legacy media. Hold on. Does that make me alt-right if I don't like legacy media? Taylor Lorenz, Wikipedia. I could probably find a screenshot if it doesn't say it. Taylor Lorenz, born in New York City. Age? No. They've removed it, I think. Taylor Lorenz's Wikipedia page used to give a like a time frame from when she was born. Like, it didn't say she was born in 19-something. It gave, like, an estimated year. Like, she was born somewhere between here.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
Where is this? Age. Wikipedia. Oh, God, I need to find this. She admitted she was 43. Here, look at... Oh, dude, this is great. Look at this thread. According to Politico, Lorenz's birthday is October 21st. Fortune says she is 35 in 2020. However, New York Times, prior to her employment with the newspaper, said she was 31 in 2018. And it said in 2016 she was 30. Taylor herself has stated she was 43 in 2022. Like, trying to navigate her age in and of itself is another lie. That's the funniest part here. I remember that was definitely one of the screenshots from back then. How old is Taylor Lorenz? Yeah. You know, I probably have a segment on this on my YouTube channel somewhere. I'm going through all of the history. By the way, like if I go on Ask Oracle right now,
Nicholas,
she's 40.
Thank you for
if
the
I
$5,
she's
my
43 a couple of years ago, but she's reverted back to 40 since then. Taylor Lorenz crashing out. Oh, dude, there it is. Taylor Lorenz is crashing out because Nate Silver asked her age. I don't know who Nate Silver is. Dude, this is like the biggest meme I've ever seen. Taylor Lorenz, born October 21st, from 1984 to 1987. Is that not one of the funniest screenshots you've ever seen in a Wikipedia article? They gave an estimated birth year. Like, I've never seen this before, unless it's somebody who lived in like before Christ. You know, the BC times. They'll give like a, well, we don't know for a fact if fucking Alexander the Great lived here. Her birth took, yeah, she had a 3-year, she was born in a leap year, dude, or something. I don't know. That's funny, dude. Holy shit.
The New York Times one.
She was trying to convince things and blah blah blah. So it's difficult because
Audio balancing not great here. Okay, so she interacted with like minor creators to get them for article bait on content.
Using her power as a New York Times reporter.
And she did it because she thought it made her look less creepy to contact these people and get the stories first, instead of contacting their parents, who'd probably tell them not to talk to journalists.
And her age and skills to extract stories and drama from
teenagers
again and again so that she can materially benefit from her job is a form of unsavory objective. Again, I'm not the first person to raise eyebrows here. People criticized her in March for being a 36-year-old reporter who slides into the DMs of teenagers. Her response? First tweet, her critics are full of, quote, bad faith bullshit, and then, of course, delete the tweet. So we have a reporter who rifles through other people's history looking for a negative narrative on them, deletes their own record of errors.
Oh, now I imagine this is where... Oh, wait, whoa. Okay, I thought this was going to be the part where they go over the fucking archive, but now it's attacks on women. Holy shit, dude, this guy's going off.
Doxes people's family members, misleads about the reach of the reporting and their quotes, and slides into the DMs of your teenage son's or daughter's Instagram account. I'm warning you, this reporter is on the prowl as we speak.
Had your kids, had your wife, and had your husband because...
Taylor is DMing them. She's doing well.
See, look, these are the skits that iDubbbz chose not to put in his video.
Alright, I know we're like 30 minutes in. It's getting long, but we need to keep going. There's still some evidence that requires us digging up. It's gonna get good.
And by the way, I don't think an influencer necessarily lying about their age is like the worst thing on planet Earth. I think it's very popular for like... I mean, Def Noodles pointed it out, and he wasn't necessarily wrong when he said like people who are acting or whatever lie about their age all the time. But I think the reason why she's doing it is because it looks like if you're older than Keemstar or near the age of Keemstar, you're going to start getting the insults of Keemstar. Like, why is a 40-year-old woman DMing fucking teenagers, asking them about their beef with their parents or something? That is kind of weird.
New location. I'm traveling, but video must go on. In December 2019, Verge reporter Zoe Schiffer and friend of Taylor Lorenz published this incredibly interesting but terribly damaging article on the CEO of Away Luggage.
But I think people choose influencer drama if maybe newer people. I think when legacy people who are like fucking 30, 40, 50 years old who are covering influencer drama right now as like a journalist and who never covered this stuff before, who did other stuff and couldn't be successful, I guess, in that regard. I think those people are probably just trying to get involved with the trend because they're not successful outside of that niche. You know, maybe they're not, maybe they couldn't strike it as like a wartime journalist or somebody who's covering politics, or the stuff that they actually wanted to cover wasn't working out. So they follow around the Rizzler and they write articles about them because that's what people are reading these days.
Reporting detailed and
It's just like posers in the online space trying to like grift off of it.
environment of alleged intimidation and surveillance of its employees by its female founder and CEO, Steph Corey. And when the story dropped, emotional baggage, former away employees.
What's the name of the guy from Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo.
By
Mr. Oreo.
I remember
Yo, BBB, what's up?
Sitting at my office in Yahoo with a buddy watching the nuclear fallout in real time. Steph Corey resigned from Away. The board issued an exclusive interview to Wall Street Journal, and Corey apologized in a desperate dash of PR to save her company's reputation. It was a big story. However, after a few months, Steph Corey had a change of heart. She felt the Verge article had been unfair, and her response an overreaction. She talked to the board, she resumed her position as CEO at the company she founded, and she did an Instagram.
All right, what did Taylor Lorenz do? I'm smelling it. Here she comes.
Asked her why women were being targeted and who she thought was doing the targeting. And we can read Steph Corey's response. She spoke about how she thought journalism incentives had shifted and how this new economic model affects the reporting done by young reporters. A benign answer.
Oh, thank you for hitting the goal.
From someone who has just gone through the PR nightmare of an incredibly damaging story. I've linked it down below. You can decide for yourself whether you think it's a hit piece. Frankly, that's beside the point. Because when Steph Corey answers this Instagram question, who appears on the scene, like Rita Skeeter ready to drown Hermione, but Taylor Lorenz, who tweets to her 250,000 followers. Steph Corey, disgraced former CEO of Away Luggage, is ranting on IG stories about the media. Her posts are incoherent, and it's disappointing.
It's like she's personally taken offense to this comment, so she feels forced to go out and talk about it now. It's like, oh, fuck, she's described me. I must fight back with my audience of people who I pretend don't harass others because I'm a perpetual victim and I wouldn't allow that.
See a woman who ran a luggage brand perpetuate falsehoods about the industry she has zero understanding of. One, notice how Taylor makes it about gender.
Disappointing to see a woman.
And two, I work in media. Steph's answer makes sense. But more importantly, we have a New York Times reporter who randomly, one, attacks a female CEO out of the blue, two, makes a factual error. Steph Corey is the current CEO of Away. 3, violates New York Times social media guidelines. I don't care about that. But 4, the one I do care about, is when she is called out for her verbal broadside into Steph Corey, Taylor plays victim and omits her own attack.
Oh, please tell me how that person harassed you, Taylor. I'm so excited to hear about it.
A business contemporary of Steph, calls out Taylor for her random harassment and factual error.
Taylor Lorenz attacks the CEO out of the blue, made a factual error, violated the social media guidelines, and then omits her own attack and plays victim. This is how it works. These journalists are sociopaths.
And rather than Taylor retract the statement or apologize,
she just becomes a statistic to what the CEO is even talking about, which is extremely funny.
She doubles down and takes to her audience writing that Balaji has been ranting about me by name for months now. He has tweeted speculation about my salary.
And you can see this is exactly the same way she's interacting with Ethan right now, just being completely disingenuous.
Bash my education.
Oh, please, please, I'm the victim. I'm the real victim here.
Nicholas DeOrio
Even if I've deleted everything or hidden everything that would make me not the victim, I'm the victim.
My writing, my career, and worse.
It's all for attention. It's all just cry-bullying for attention. Masquerading as a journalist when she's basically no better than your average slop tuber.
I've tried to reach out to him privately.
Dude, cry-bully journalism. Dude, we've had muckrakers, bro. Dude, the future, the kids in school, the people who Taylor Lorenz are planning on contacting for new TikTok stories, they're going to be learning about cry-bully journalism during the peak of the influencer Ethan Hasan conflict.
Today, he declined my call once again. Honestly, how should I handle this? That conveniently ignores Taylor started all this by being the one who randomly attacked Steph Corey. But Taylor continues on, writing, quote, I've worked so hard to become a writer. I took a massive pay cut to lead the strategy side of things. I take my job seriously and have built a reputation as someone who is fair, empathetic, and honest. I'm not sure that's her reputation. I think it's fear, if I'm being honest. Total abject fear. It's part of what makes this video so difficult, because I know multiple reporters of different genders who are scared of speaking out against Taylor Lorenz, even though they've had...
You shouldn't be, dude. She's got no well, nowadays, she has no fucking industry support. It's just a bunch of crazy people who defend her on social media. You actually, if you go against her on Blue Sky, maybe, dude, if you see her down on X, all right, you can say whatever you want. But if you catch her down on Blue Sky, she's a talkative guy. Dude, anybody been, this is a total fucking random reference. Anybody been seeing the Peter Griffin, Cyrus meme? After Cyrus died, it's like the only thing on my For You page. It's like, if you catch me down in Quahog, say hi. If you catch me at the Clam, I'm a talkative guy. Nah. Like, what the fuck, dude? Ever since Cyrus died, his song has been banging.
Direct negative interactions with her because they don't want to jeopardize their careers, and I know of multiple TikTokers and influencers that are equally scared of Taylor and worry that she may wield her power at the New York Times to obliterate their future careers. Her reputation is not empathetic, it is fear.
Hey Nick, would you move the Wiggler for 1 second? I want to watch the video behind your head. Oh, yeah, it's holding a scammer's computer hostage. And it's a video by... Okay, never mind. I'm not making the... Okay, hold on. Wait.
Can say is that people may be less likely to call her out if she took accountability for her own errors. But no, instead there's always a double down. This guy Ruben, whom I don't know if
I like how everybody immediately knew where that was going. That's so funny.
Adam, but wrote, I don't agree with everything.
All right, I'm gonna just I'm deviating so hard. I'm like literally ruining this segment. But I actually still have Mudahar's Discord server, and the whole thing, that's not Discord server, his subreddit. The Some Ordinary Gamers subreddit just like literally looks up Indian guys and asks if it's Mudahar. So I'm never going to get shit from these people because the top posts all the time on the Mudahar subreddit that I see that pop up are like, I didn't know Mudahar reviewed XYZ, and it's just some fucking Indian guy. Dude, look at this. Why is Mudahar doing car food reviews? Chat, when did Muda start doing car food reviews? It's just some fucking Indian guy. Every time. Okay.
Steph wrote, but how are her posts incoherent?
He's got the pass. They're fans,
And
dude.
Taylor responds, it's completely wrong and delusional. So not only is Steph Curry disgraced former CEO, but she's also delusional. Taylor is simply gaslighting here to bury anyone who disagrees with her opinion on Steph Curry. It reminds me of the same way she lied about the New York Post reporter photoshopping her for clout.
Yeah, this is why I legitimately don't believe her whole I've always wanted to be an independent journalist meme. Because it's very obvious that she was hiding behind her fucking New York Times prowess previously. And it seems like she wants to be like bigger, and more notable. Maybe that means she wants to like, I guess, tap into a YouTuber audience. But it makes sense why she glazes Hasan so much.
The GOAT. Thank you for the $5.
Without New York Times, Taylor Lorenz is like slightly more important than a random media journalist, a Medium article journalist.
Or about the female software developer and how she claimed she was a liar when it was Taylor who was lying. Anyone who disagrees with Taylor is a liar.
Well, the long COVID stuff's not going to be on here because this video was released before her COVID became long. Probably. If I had to guess.
Or delusional.
It was just COVID when this video came out, so I don't think the long COVID stuff is in here.
According to her. And I'm sure the same inverted pyramid of piffle will be spread about me. I don't know of any other reporter who behaves like this. But to pluck a cherry of irony up the tree of fate...
How did you find this video? It was kind of popular in this sector of the internet a couple of years ago. Yeah, like I remember Augie had reviewed this in 2021. It was around the time, it was like a week before VidCon, yeah.
In this chapter, after Taylor going on about Balaji has been ranting about, I've tried to reach out to him privately. Today, he declined my call once again. They both happened to enter a Clubhouse chat room that same evening. And shortly after Balaji joined, Taylor left. She had her opportunity to talk to Balaji and settle their differences. But instead she bounced. So was the entire message she wrote to her audience the quote, I've reached out to him and he won't respond to me nonsense? Yes. Actions express priorities. And her action was she left. Taylor tells her audience one thing and then does something entirely different in real life again and again and again. And it becomes increasingly hard to take anything this reporter says seriously.
And that's another thing. People are saying they thought this video was just released. Can you believe that this was like publicly available 3 years ago? That like people were all, like, dude, her behavior right now is virtually the same as she was 3 years ago, but she just wasn't notable enough to get canceled. Like, she's just not famous enough for it to matter.
Reporter who rifles through people's history to find negative narratives on them, deletes her own record of errors, doxes people's family members, misleads about the reach of her reporting, slides into the
The what? The reach of what reporting?
People's family members, misleads about the reach of her reporting, slides into the DMs of your teenage son's or daughter's Instagram account, and now has a troubling pattern of attacking successful women like Claudia and Jackie and Mason and Zainab and Steph Curry. And for the sake of argument, if anyone thinks I'm making up a pattern that does not exist in real life, I'm not. Let me read what Ty Haney, founder of Outdoor Voices, wrote. It wasn't just me and Outdoor Voices. I have this peer group of women who became the faces of their companies around the same time. Emily Weiss from Glossier is a good friend, Audrey and Lauren from The Wing, Jen Rubio and Steph Curry from Away. We kind of came up together and did similar things in different industries. And over the past year, we have all been put on the chopping block at some point. For some crazy reason, all of these were female journalists going after female founders.
So yeah, they all felt that way. And then Taylor Lorenz is like, that's not us, guys. We're actually better than them. That's not us, guys. All right, let's move ahead here. Oh, wait, what the fuck?
This article is good. It paints a compelling picture of talent manager Ari Jacobs and her content houses manipulating teenagers, misleading them, stealing money from them on their quest to fame. That's the thing about Taylor. She is extremely good at writing convincing narratives. She's like an agent in the Matrix. To the untrained eye, you would never notice the deception. But once you've been inside for a few years, you're like, wait a minute. Allow me to poke some holes in Taylor's reporting and blow up this story like there's 80 pounds of tannerite inside it. First issue, Taylor, the New York Times reporter, is reporting on Ari Jacobs' management agency while not disclosing Taylor herself is signed to a competing agency.
Wait, do journalists get talent agents? Is that like normal? I guess maybe, okay, sure.
UTA. UTA is a direct competitor to Ari Jacobs' influences, nor does Taylor disclose that a few months prior to this article, she had wrote a glowing article about UTA. And let me parry what the New York Times is going to say immediately because I know how this game is played. They're going to say Taylor was signed to UTA prior to joining the New York Times and therefore does not need to disclose this conflict of interest to her readers. Convenient, but okay. Taylor does not disclose that her and Ari Jacobs had a friendly relationship prior to Taylor stabbing her right in the back. Here's a text where Taylor is thanking Ari Jacobs and hoping she's staying safe during COVID. Taylor writes that...
Oh, dude. That's her chief issue, yeah.
Taylor is thanking Ari Jacobs and hoping she's staying safe during COVID. Taylor writes that Gary Vaynerchuk is not associated with influences, but fails to disclose that Gary Vaynerchuk has a very personal relationship with Ari Jacobs of influences. Taylor fails to disclose these photos taken in the Girl in the Valley house.
Ari is a bitch? Ari sucks. Fuck Ari.
Those are interesting, huh? Taylor doesn't disclose that Tiana Singer, one of her subjects, has no management contract with influences. Taylor doesn't disclose that the house in question, the Girls in the Valley house, was Bella Thorne's house. Now,
dude, Tana Mojo!
Why wouldn't Taylor disclose that? Is that maybe because Taylor wants to preserve her own relationship with Bella Thorne?
Oh.
While happily trashing Ari Jacobs. I think it is. Now,
it's not Tana Mojo. I thought it was going to be Tana Mojo.
Part of Taylor's problems, and she has many, may be because she didn't want to accept much on background. I know this because I have all of Taylor's emails. Taylor thinks she's the only person that can play this game. I know she moved to California where life is easy, and she can interview children. Welcome to New York. I can see that Taylor gave Ari Jacobs only 72 hours to respond to all these questions before publication, and then only 8 hours to respond to an entirely new set of questions prior to publication. Indeed, I can see that Taylor really
Wait, what?
Before publication, and then only Jacobs only 70. Welcome to New York. I can see that Taylor gave Ari Jacobs only 72 hours to respond to all these questions before
you have 72
publication,
hours.
and then only 8 hours to respond to an entirely new set of questions prior to publication. Indeed,
Hey, here's a new set of questions. This article's dropping in 8 hours with or without you.
I can see that Taylor really wanted to nail Ari Jacobs because she was probing over missed rent payments, personal missed rent payments from 2018, to which Ari's lawyer humorously responded. I fail to see the relevance to the claim here when she is...
Wait, is there a lawsuit? I'm missing something. Hold on, let me go back to the beginning of this.
Coherent.
I'm gonna jump ahead. More attacks on women.
It's the first time I was low energy. Taylor Lorenz is emotionally draining. But this August 2020, Taylor published another damaging piece on a female businesswoman.
Because I skipped this.
The article was titled, "Making it Big Online, Getting Signed Isn't Everything." And the subject of this article was a woman named Ari Jacobs. And on casual reading, this article is good. It paints a compelling picture of fame. That's the thing about Taylor. She is extremely...
Okay, we saw this part. Okay, no, we caught up. So what he's trying to say is Taylor Lorenz had a former friendship or interaction with this Ari woman, and then eventually she went to the New York Times when she was signed to a competing brand and targeted them, and he believes that like non-disclosure is an act of malice when he's targeting her specifically.
The GOAT.
And she was unfair in the way that she like presented this article.
You take that back, only rent.
Okay.
Used to paint Ari for has no business relationship with influencer's company. Gary Vee does have a personal relationship with Ari Jacobs.
Wait, Gary? Whoa! Wait, how did Gary Vee get in here?
Gary Vee says he has no affiliation with influences. This is a jujitsu-like contortion to say something that is legally correct, but almost entirely false with context. But that is Taylor's way. The full context, the actual context not provided with Taylor, is that while Gary Vaynerchuk has no business relationship with influencer's company, Gary Vee does have a personal relationship with Ari Jacobs. A relationship I can document with video that shows Ari Jacobs and Gary Vee are close enough that one of Ari's clients received a brand deal for the Super Bowl directly because of her relationship with Gary Vaynerchuk.
That's the scoop. This is like, hold on. Is this going to be all on this one topic? Because I don't know. I might leave this one to you and move on. Because I'm not super interested in this one.
Constantly asked for, quote, dirt on Ari.
My words were,
yeah, I'm not really... Guys, there's a whole section on this from 40 minutes to an hour. If you want to watch it, I recommend you watch it on his channel. I want to try to move ahead.
And not to belabor the point, but I think it's worth noting. Taylor went after Claudia and Jackie Oshry, two female entrepreneurs, for not towing the gender line. She went after her colleague, Zeneb. She went after female founder, Steph Corey. She went after female...
Alright, so this is just a summary of everything that we've done so far. Interlude. Alright, Clubhouse of... Oh my god! Wait, I forgot about this! Do you guys remember Clubhouse, the invite-only platform that people were fucking... It was like the pre-Blue Sky, like, streamer version of it? And then guys like Nerd City would go on there and talk about fucking, like, NFTs.
Let's talk about Clubhouse.
Clubhouse is like another failed social media site.
For those not familiar, Clubhouse is an app that allows people to group chat via their phones and set up rooms to talk about ideas. It sounds like this. I think it's boring, but Taylor feels differently. When Clubhouse was in beta, she got special access and spent her hours documenting every instance of political incorrectness she could find.
Dude, Mastodon was crazy because it was supposed to be like the free speech Twitter, and then they banned Tipster. That was my favorite thing ever. Dude, back when Tipster was like the least controversial person on platforms or anything I've ever seen, he went on Mastodon, immediately was banned.
Then, with the eagerness of a marathon runner bringing news to Athens, she published her blacklist on Medium. She called it Clubhouse...
It's Twitter Spaces? Yeah, Twitter basically just consumed this site.
Moderation Issues and Incidents. Specific choice examples of Taylor's moderation issues and incidents are tonight on Clubhouse, a room where users say sex work is unacceptable. Tonight on Clubhouse, VC hosting group panel on Curtis Yarvin, a far-right blog...
Dude, this is like, I am Taylor Lorenz. I am pro-free speech. What are your pro-free speech positions? Guys, there are people who disagree with my positions on sex work.
Tonight on Clubhouse, VC hosting group panel on Curtis...
Guys, I'm super pro-free speech. I don't care what your position is. That's not pro-free speech.
Yarvin, a far-right blogger and Breitbart writer, often called, quote, the alt-right's favorite philosophy instructor. Often called that by whom, Taylor? Also on Clubhouse.
Sourced by Taylor Lorenz.
Tonight, quote, a white teal fellow telling a room, I just think, quote, racism is so overblown. Okay, people, literally random people, may speak obnoxiously and have problematic conversations.
Could you imagine writing a fucking thread on Twitter Spaces being like, I watched a Twitter Space today and some random person was added to the call instead of slur?
And Taylor can call them out if she wants. I do not care if people say stupid things. Nor do I care if Taylor wants to cosplay as hall monitor and police speech. What I do care about is after this New York Times reporter had enumerated the reasons why she thought Clubhouse was toxic and why she was quitting, I don't plan on opening the app again. I don't want to support any network that doesn't take user safety seriously.
Oh my, dude. Okay, bro. This is literally just calling for them to censor the platform. That's so fucking funny, dude. Hi, I have a whole fucking series about free speech. Also,
After allegedly quitting, Taylor was soon back with a new anonymous account trolling for stories. And when she could not
I will not be using this site anymore. I've got a burner.
to support any network that doesn't take user safety seriously. After allegedly quitting, Taylor was soon back with a new anonymous account.
Dude, Karen was always pro free speech. What the fuck are you talking about?
Trolling for stories. And when she could not find a real story, she fabricated.
Is there no music in the video? I got you.
One. In February 2020, this New York Times
Here.
why she was quitting. I don't plan on opening the app again. I don't want to support any network that doesn't take user safety seriously. After allegedly quitting, Taylor was soon back with a new anonymous account trolling for stories. And when she could not find a real story, she fabricated one. In February 2020, this New York Times reporter posted on Twitter that venture capitalist Mark Andreessen was just openly using the R slur on Clubhouse.
Oh no, the R slur!
And not one person in the room was calling him on it or doing anything about it. False.
Free speech, bro.
Total lie. The moderator at that room, Nate Jones, immediately rebuked Taylor's accusation. I modded that room, here's what actually happened. Felicia explained that the Redditors called themselves, quote, R-word revolution. But Mark never used that word, ever. He referenced, quote, deep value, end quote, that's all. And this is why people block because of this horseshit dishonesty. So this New York Times reporter, like so many times before, is caught in a clear lie. But instead of issuing an apology for falsely accusing—
Nick, stop playing this track. It makes me want to defame Billy Mitchell. Dude, I can't stop myself from defaming Billy Mitchell at the sound of it, dude.
Accusing a man, she doubles down on everyone in the group chat room except for herself. Thanks for clarifying it was Felicia saying that word, rather than Mark, as many in the room heard it. I hope you can understand how some people in the room felt hearing it, which is a great frame narrative distortion, because nobody in that room heard Mark say the R word except Taylor, and nobody felt any way about it except—
it's a phantom R slur by the person who's like notably attacking the site.
Taylor. And Taylor goes on to say people who use that word should think more carefully about what they're saying. But I would argue perhaps this New York Times reporter should think more carefully about the facts she reports, as she seems to get a lot of them wrong.
Oh my god.
She is the Donald Trump of reporters. Gets caught lying, looks you straight in the face, and doubles down. Thanks for clarifying it was Felicia saying that word, rather than Mark, as many in the room heard it.
Bruh.
I feel like I should add in here, what is even taking place with Taylor accusing Mark of calling people why is even a word in people's vocabulary in this situation? Recently, a lot of retail investors who've gotten into the market with the rise of Robinhood, a lot of people that would normally not have access to the stock market are having fun with the stock market. And they're investing in all kinds of zany things like Dogecoin.
Wait, oh, okay, is this during fucking GameStop? This is 2021, this is during GameStop, right?
Or GameStop.
Yeah, holy shit, we're all the way back in, dude, we're back in GameStop and we're still talking about how Taylor Lorenz is a disgusting liar.
Legacy investors, legacy
That's how much of a legacy she has.
Institutional media don't understand this. And they're generally condescending and negative towards these new retail investors. They call them idiots. They call them fools. They call them dumb money. There is a level of arrogance and condescension towards these new retail investors. These new retail investors recognize they're getting condescended to, and so they take that agency back. Is an anagram of traders. Say, okay, we're not legitimate traders, fine.
That's kind of based. Wait, that's actually extremely fucking funny. Holy shit. That is actually fucking based.
Anagram. And it's an anagram deliberately designed to take back agency that, hey, we can make—
And they're probably right, too, for the most part. The people who are criticizing them are probably right.
Investments, too. You may call—
Dude, they've reclaimed the slur. Dude, you have like people who'd actually be traditionally called that word or whatever, sitting there like awe covering their whole fucking— as a Dogecoin buyer reclaims the slur retard. That is the funniest. Dude, could you imagine being someone with a disability and then somebody walks past you and goes, huh, that's retarded. You're like, yeah, it's offensive. Why the fuck did you say that? He goes, excuse me, sir. I'm a GameStop stockholder, okay? I get to use this word. This is for our people.
Has done money, but we're gonna make the investment decisions we want to. That is the energy behind the word in this situation. It's not used as a slur towards anyone. It's not used to—
Yeah, I understand that you like get like a fucking you get like a— you could park in the front of the Costco, okay? But I put all my money into Dogecoin and now I'm poor. So this is our word.
Derogatorily. That is the context. Unfortunately, we are not finished with Taylor or Clubhouse or Mark Andreessen, because a few weeks after falsely attributing the R slur to Mark Andreessen, she publishes an article in the New York Times where she again reiterates her real or imagined stress that people are having.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing is she does YouTube drama, but does it through like notable publications. It's a good thing she's independent now, because like now everything that's being reported from her sites can be more highly scrutinized.
Unfettered conversations on Clubhouse, and for good measure, in addition, tweets a thread about how intimidation female journalist has ruined her life. It's here where Tucker Carlson on Fox News and Glenn Greenwald get all turned up like overpriced avocado toast, which I think was unfortunate because it politicized and distracted from what was a real malicious slander by a New York Times reporter against Mark Andreessen. But forget about Fox News for a second. Do any of us think it is acceptable for the New York Times to misattribute actions to people without evidence? No hands? Sad, because she again targeted Mark Andreessen a few weeks later. They're writing, "It's Friday night and Mark Andreessen and Charles C. Johnson are in a room bashing me on Clubhouse." False. Here's the context. The Clubhouse room was titled Taylor Lorenz Fans Only, and the assertion that Mark was bashing her is false. A recording of the conversation showed the only words Mark said were literally, quote, "I don't want to talk, I'm here to listen." I don't want to talk, I'm here to listen. And when Taylor gets called on the lie, she, you guessed it, deletes
lies. Oh, it's gone. It's and it's gone. And it's gone. It never happened.
You know, this reminds me of someone.
Another fake allegation that he simply erases.
Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Dude, full circle, Ethan Klein just showed up in the video. What is happening right now? Dude, Ethan literally just shows up in the video.
When it reminds me of someone.
Another fake allegation that he simply erases when it's not true. How many times is Keemstar going to be allowed to do this?
Another fake allegation she simply erases when it's not true. How many times will Taylor be allowed to do this? It's almost like this New York Times reporter has a personal grievance against Mark Andreessen.
This is a time traveler. This is a time traveler from the past who has come back in the present to tell us the good word.
Way to publicly wound him, whether through fact or fiction. But finally, in Taylor's infinite audacity after misattributing smear quotes to people and ruining
Nicholas, the GOAT.
I like that. Infinite audacity. Thank you so much for the $5.
Women's lives, writes on the internet, "For International Women's Day, please consider supporting women in doing online intimidation. It's not an exaggeration to say that the intimidation smear campaign I've had to endure over the past year has destroyed my life. No one should have to go
Hey, thank you, Cope and Steve.
through this." And attached a
What's
link
the
to an
name of
article.
the guy?
I agree with Taylor.
Keemstar
Intimidation is real.
Nick Oreo.
But Taylor seems to be doing a lot of
intimidation.
Why is he censoring
with a steel
intimidation? Why censor the word harassment with intimidation?
And I read every word of the article Taylor sourced because I wanted to take her tweet seriously. The article details one relatively poor black reporter living in the Philippines who has been the target of, in particular, the dictator Duterte. I'm not entirely clear how this applies to Taylor, the American living in Los Angeles working for the New York Times, but one interesting datum were the attacks on credibility. Well, I have a problem with Taylor's credibility. This video is not an attack on her personal life, nor her gender, nor her value as a human being.
A pattern revealed, so I imagine this is going to be the... Oh, look, he's back in the farmer outfit, so is this going to be his conclusion?
Nicholas, the GOAT. Thank you for the $5, my
There's
man.
a whole section of this video that we basically didn't watch. I recommend you watch it on his channel. I will link it after the segment.
Now, not every entertainer is an angel, but when I watch a supposed star reporter for the New York Times so dishonestly write about YouTubers...
It's a good thing that she doesn't work there anymore.
And TikTokers, and people who maybe moved to the city to chase a dream, get lied about and destroyed to fill copy in Sunday's paper, man, does that make me despise that reporter. A reporter who makes their living pulling down the dreams of young entertainers and tech developers and lying about other people. And if she did it honestly, I would be the first to defend her work. But Taylor is dishonest.
And she has remained dishonest for the next 3 years.
Read by millions of Americans who take her...
Wait, 3 years. She's remained dishonest for the next 4 years.
And her accusations seriously. And there is real harm in that. So what can we do to beat it? Well, the simplest answer is to support the very women Taylor wants to suppress.
Base, dude, support women.
Support our
Agreeable.
Jacobs, the female immigrant entrepreneur. Support Jackie and Claudia Oshry. Support Zeneb. Support Brandy. Support Mason Hart.
Dude, shout out women, yes!
Hartman. Steph Corey. Female writer Christy. Support the women Taylor tries to destroy. And finally, Taylor, because I know you're watching this video.
I'm on a rooftop in the West Village, so life has been pretty good. But before Taylor responds, let me remind her who has the power and the privilege. I grew up in the Midwest and worked at McDonald's. She grew up in ultra-wealthy Greenwich, Connecticut.
Ooh, bro. Yo, she's got the Hasan backdrop. Let's go.
Fancy Swiss boarding school.
Oh, shit, dude. I went to a private Swiss boarding school, tuition of $90,000.
And flouts around LA with the full backing of the New York Times while lying about women and other reporters. I am not the patriarchy.
Bang.
You are.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I don't wanna waste my time. Become another casualty in society. Never falling.
Bro, this is a fucking great video. This is a great video.
Become another victim of the form of
dude, holy shit. That was fucking bonus chapter. Wait, there's more on Patreon. Justine, Jake Paul, and Taylor Lorenz, Who's Lying? Bonus chapter only on Patreon. Jesus fucking Christ. Couple of notes. One, I'm doing something you're not supposed to do in my industry. Turn and break rank with the thin blue check marks. Let me see. 2, I had to edit this video, you'll notice, in order to navigate YouTube's ecosystem. 3, if you'd like to help fund my casket and tombstone after publishing this video, you can watch the bonus chapter on Jake Paul on Patreon, and that's giving you extra perks. I am aware, of course, of iDubbbz's content cop format. It's why I chose to loosely play with the concept. It allows me to talk using an existing vernacular, and YouTube's infrastructure audiences are already familiar with a long video. Thank you, iDubbbz, for pioneering those videos. Alex Melton was rad enough to let me use his awesome country Fat Lip cover. Please check out his music. Jesus. I'm Ari Jacobs. My company is discussed at 4133. My business and reputation was destroyed following this article.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
This is a 10K sub YouTuber who appears to be... Like, is this her? 4 days ago?
Here is Ariadna Jacobs. Make succeeding and helping ordinary people dream overnight with one.
Well, if this person is still posting pretending to be Ardia Jacob, she's been very dedicated. She's been waiting for years for this to come up. Taylor Lorenz needs to be held accountable for her actions, and I applaud you for taking the brave steps necessary to expose what journalists can do with their power. New York Times do better. Ari has filed suit, and I wish total success against Taylor. Absolutely great job on this video. Holy shit, dude. Lorenz epitomizes entitled, toxic, destructive journalism, zero integrity. She's a narcissistic clout chaser, the exact opposite of what we want in journalists, especially... What did people say when this video was released? Let me check Reddit. Content Cop Taylor Lorenz Midwest Edition. Because I remember this was like a notable thing people were talking about. There's got to be like some... Well, it's been posted on... Good watch from Pope DeOrio's live stream. Thank you to Sergeant Hugo fucking Stiglitz, dude. Hugo Stiglitz. This content cop is going insane right now. Jaw-dropping stuff. Great username. Fuck Nazis. This was great. Guy's a legit journalist. I hope Ethan sees this. Wow, it's almost like this was posted, 56 minutes ago. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Let me see... Content Cop Taylor Lorenz Midwest Edition. There's one. Media criticism. This trigger I avoid so much. Maybe it didn't have a good run on here. I'm not seeing a ton of posts about it. Here's one from 3 years ago. Let's see. Submission statement. The link is valid and contributes to the sub because it demonstrates media outlets are not always above using questionable sources. The importance of double checking your sources' claims. Well, let me move this. You literally can't see anything. and abstaining from printing things that can't be verified, how profit-oriented media outlets don't always have interest in the public mind and are often pursuing their own financial ends, how conflict of interest in for-profit media isn't presented so readily, how the sources and news outlets used in articles can impact the content of said articles, the key role of presentation has on public perception on particular topics of importance, how reporters who simply repeat what they are told by one side end up serving that side's interest, how reporters will use their position for their own private gain, how corporate news outlets don't tell the truth, how media outlets don't challenge their guests on claims made, how news outlets fail to tell readers when an impartial viewpoint is actually not impartial, how for-profit news outlets will use the resources to elevate standing and entities and figures who aren't credible to begin with. I think it's funny that Taylor wants to be a independent journalist to get away from the stuff that she has capitalized on time and time again, and the tactics that she has chosen to use fly in the face of like why she'd want to be independent to begin with. How for-profit news outlets despise those who legitimately criticize the standings of those who they've elevated, how journalists can avoid being held accountable, the unethical way to gather quotes for news stories, how journalists ignore context when presenting statements and tweets. This video explores shoddy journalism by Taylor Lorenz. She goes through people's histories to get info on them for negative narratives, deletes her own faulty record without issuing corrections, doxes family members, misleads the reach of reporting her quotes, sliding into the DMs of teens in the hope to get juicy details on the, down the line, mainly targeting successful women. This goes through all of the points in the video. Holy fuck, dude. Jesus Christ, this is a submission statement. Just curious, how long did it take you to put this together? Is this the guy? I have a general all-public submission statement that I modified if it were I'm posting. Oh no, this is the, yeah. Content cop is IDOs. What is this clickbait? For real, what is going on in the editing in this video? Who cares when most of the industry has been supplemented with prostitutes and felons? Yeah, so this had an uphill battle, I would say. I would say this had an uphill battle back then. You should get a Firefox Chrome extension that gives you the tab under YouTube videos that shows every time a video has been posted to Reddit. Ooh, that would be helpful. I need to look into that one. Let me see. Is there anything else here? I wonder where this guy is, like, now. What is he doing at this moment in time? Let me see. Sort by new. You did good. Here, 3 years later, Taylor is still completely unhinged. Unbelievable how this held up relevancy. No other content cop can say the same. Ooh, fuck. That is devious. That is a devious lick right there. Holy shit. Video is posted 10 months ago and has aged extremely. What happened in 3 years? A month later, it's aging even better. Dude, somebody please update me. Why is there no part 2 to this video? Apparently, this just keeps going. 2 weeks later, and it's $20,000 bottle of rare aged wine. It gets better every day. Wait, scrolling past the tipster comment? What are you talking about? Tipster, I always knew Taylor Lorenz was a bad reporter, but man, it's so much worse than I thought. Dude, big tips in here. Big tip with the check mark, dude. Thin check mark. Dude, hope this takes off. Amazing work. Unfortunately, it didn't. Needs to blow up. Dude, 2 years ago, people keep coming back to this video every time she does something stupid. Like, please, please let this video blow up, okay? I think this video needs to be seen. I'm gonna fucking say it, all right, to the 4,000 or so people who are currently watching. How many people are here? 5,200 people who are watching. I think you should share this video. For no reason other than, I don't care what this guy makes now. I don't care what his content is. This is a very good video. Is this sourcing? Dude, nuclear fallout.
Towards the end of your video, you act like a victim.
It's sourcing fucking H3H3. Dude, this guy could tell the future, bro. Holy shit. That's great, dude. What the fuck? She did the same thing to Tug. She gave him a very limited amount of time to respond before she wrote a hit. I feel like I've heard this. Yeah, it's a very limited amount of time. Mudahar, dude. The fuck? Lamau? Holy shit, dude. That's funny. How this woman is still employed is beyond me. Well, she's not anymore. Mr. Yo. Wait, is that the guy from the ADL? The guy from the ADL who went after Hasan Piker on CNN shouted this video out? Is that real? Wait a minute. Dude, we're finding so many little tidbits right now. Taylor Lorenz. Is there a tweet about... Oh, it's Greenblatt. No, it's not the same person. Who's Greenwald? Who's Glenn Greenwald? What is this? Oh, I see Rumble in his name. Okay. I don't know any of these people, dog. Yo. Dude, oh my god, bro. I can't wait to show you this.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter. Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
Bro, Vega's making the new intro card for the VODs, and it is... Oh, dude, it looks so fucking good, bro. I can't wait to see what this looks like. Holy shit. I gotta show you. Dude, I finally put some effort into the fucking... I'm finally putting some effort into this channel. Holy shit, I cannot wait to fucking get that shit and pay him. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, alright. Well, that's probably the Taylor Lorenz segment. Little Miss... Dude, did she ever post anything about Taylor on here? Taylor... Whatever... So I guess she... Was there a lawsuit? Lawyers discuss defamation lawsuit against Taylor Lorenz.
Getting back to SDNY corruption, Robert. We had her on last week, Ariadna Jacob, who's suing the New York Times for defamation. I never understand why they're suing in the Southern District of New York, seeking to apply California law. I mean, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but why would this suit not have been brought in California to begin with?
I assume her lawyers made that choice.
Imagine she lost this because we've heard nothing about it. New York Times lawyer Taylor Lorenz sued for defamation by New York Times agent.
I just saw Keffel's tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
Let's see. TikTok. Ariana Jacob represents stars like Charlie D'Amelio and other online influencers. Filed in the U.S. Southern District of New York, the lawsuit claims an August 2020 article by Lorenz contained numerous false disparaging statements about Jacobs and her business, including the accusation that she leaked nude images of one of her clients to manipulate him. A rep for the New York Times said Miss Jacobs' main complaint is that the New York Times gave voice to young people who felt they had been mistreated by her. It's troubling that she turned to litigation to try to silence those who criticize her practices. We plan to defend this suit vigorously. Lorenz did not return requests for comment. This is the G-Shock that we showed on stream for 2 seconds one time. Popping up right here. Yeah, it's crazy how fucking... Dude, the government is watching you. Holy shit, dude. Known as the TikTok agent for influencer marketing, Jacob is the CEO of Influencers, a company she started in 2018 that managed 85 TikTok stars that work with brands including MasterCard. Some of the clients have tens of millions of followers on Instagram. Did I say Instagram? Yeah. I don't know why I said that. On the platform. TikTok is what they're referencing. So Jacob says since the Lorenz article ran, she'd been fired by all of her clients and she has difficulty approaching new talent. Major brands stopped doing business with her firm. After New York Times article, I was radioactive in my industry. People believed Taylor's lies that I stole from clients, leaked revenge porn, filmed young people without consent, and pretended to be friends with social media. God, Gary V, someone who's actively been a close friend and advocate of mine for 10 years. I spent every last penny. It was overnight. It went from all these people I invested in for months and longer, now being told they shouldn't work with me in Hollywood. Court papers detailed how Jacob sought out mental health treatment and experienced suicidal thoughts following the article's publication. She also left California and relocated to Las Vegas to seek new careers and business ventures. Greenwald is far from it. I don't know who Greenwald is. Don't fight over him. I don't know who the fuck's that. I don't know who that guy is. So I have to assume. Yeah, let's see. New York Times, our response to Ariana Jacobs dismissing her defamation lawsuit against Taylor Lorenz. So she concedes. Oh, that's not it. That's my Twitter homepage. Where the fuck did it go? Wait, what? Hold on. No! Hold on. Where is it? So she conceded to this lawsuit. New York Times mostly beats the defamation. A federal court of New York partially dismissed a social media influencer company and its CEO's defamation against New York Times and former tech reporter Taylor Lorenz. Read ruling here. Oh, what an article, dude. What an article. Okay. Greenwald, there's the Snowden reporter. I don't know anything about this, bro. I swear to God. I'm not fucking hiding my power level. I just know Snowden is the guy that got, like... Did he, like, whistleblow something? I have no idea. I promise you I'm not hiding my power level. I'm putting everything out there that I know. Didn't they make a movie about him? Is there, like, a Snowden movie? He was snowed in one time. Jesus. Our response to the defamation dismissal. We are pleased to... Okay, so this is the quote. We are pleased that Ms. Jacob chose to dismiss her meritless defamation claim. We did not settle nor pay her. Okay. Actually, today I savor a profound victory. The lawsuit against the New York Times concluded on my terms. A New York federal judge affirmed the merit of my case not once but twice by denying the opposition's motion to dismiss and motion to reconsider. This legal journey has not only vindicated my stance but illuminated the true colors of people involved. Since my filing, Taylor Lorenz has not only exited the New York Times but also faces severely diminished reputations. Her credibility is tarnished by her own actions. Wait, does this timeline... Oh, wait, so it was dismissed, and then around the same time, Taylor Lorenz is just like, hey guys, I can't wait to go be an independent journalist at the exact same time frame. Is that what happened here? When did Taylor exit? Taylor Lorenz exits New York Times. In March of 2022, Taylor left the Times, joined the Washington Post. So then, when was this lawsuit? I guess when did this happen? When did she leave the Washington Post? WAPO in 2024. Taylor Lorenz fired off tweets that blamed her editor for inserting mistakes into a story in 2022. After rift with editors? What is this? When tech columnist Taylor Lorenz left the Washington Post last week, she did so at a splash. I like to have a really interactive relationship with my audience. I like to be very vocal online, obviously. Yeah, but I don't understand, like, why. Why, if you're such a pathetic little wretch who, like, cries harassment at the slightest inconvenience, why do you like to, like, argue with people and be very vocal online? I think that's really hard to do in the roles that are available at legacy institutions. So, like, instead of doing things that would probably keep you in a more, I guess, I don't know. This is weird. You're gonna, like, this is like, it's like an iDubbbz thing where it's like, I can just keep doing what I'm doing and support the people who help me out. Or I could do the unhinged thing and leave my charity event so I can go be a crazy schizophrenic online. That's kind of what she's saying here. I can stay in the bounds of what is considered to be okay as, like, a journalist and do things the legacy media will allow. Or I could leave and become unhinged and be a psychopath online and lie about people with no repercussions. Read the next paragraph. Lorenz's professional fate at the paper was in doubt even prior to her announcement. Since August, its editors had grappled with the disclosure that Lorenz had labeled President Biden as a war criminal in a selfie from the White House event, which Biden was visible in the background. She had circulated the picture to friends in a private social media post. Lorenz, a frequent and often divisive presence online, never wrote for the paper again. 3 people with the post with knowledge of the events tell NPR that Lorenz lost trust of the newsroom's leadership, both by posting that selfie with the caption about Biden and then willfully misleading editors and claiming that she had not done so. Oh my god, dude. Wait, so she got accused of fucking lying to her own editors privately? Lorenz initially denied writing that caption or sharing it. And then New York Post posted a screen grab of it online. She tweeted, "You will fall for any dumbass edit that someone makes." She told the editors someone else had added the caption to the photo. After NPR verified the post was authentic, Lorenz changed her account of what happened, acknowledging to the editors that she had shared the image. This woman lies about fucking everything, dude. Everything. The post kicked off a formal... Dude, when she said she left on fucking mutual terms, I just frankly don't believe her. I don't believe anything she has to say. And this is why I think that the long COVID stuff is psychosis as well. I don't even think she can help it. I think she's a psycho. And she's a journalist. This is a journalist who is this fucking evil. This, like, unhinged and schizophrenic. Oh, God. Holy fuck, dude. Imagine this person is covering a story. That's such a scary thought. Lorenz maintained she also shared an image as a joke, echoing an online meme, not as a commentary on Biden. The paper has not announced the findings of its review. We are grateful for the work that Taylor had produced at the Washington Post, a corporate spokesperson said in a statement. She had resigned to pursue a career in independent journalism. We wish her the best. The paper would not comment further. I have no idea about their review. All I know is they've been incredibly cool to me and very great, and I'm on good terms with them. I want out of legacy media as a whole for so many reasons, she wrote to NPR. That's not a knock on legacy media. I love and support all my friends in the system, but it is not the right environment for me to do the work that I want to do. Holy fuck. Lorenz felt increasingly at home among influencers because she's a clout demon. Yeah, 100%. Holy fuck, dude. What is going on? In her new magazine, she wrote more bluntly, "It's increasingly difficult to communicate the urgency and importance of certain stories to bosses who have zero understanding of the world I cover." So it's like, yeah, I'm leaving on good terms. I have no problems with these people. Also, immediate sub-article at her old boss. Totally fired for being a lying rat? Probably. In my opinion, I think that's probably what happened. Lorenz is unquestionably a star amongst those who cover digital media and considers herself extremely online. Some would say chronically so, which is also the title of her 2023 book about online influence. She has plumbed the world of social media influencers and found a sense of community among them. Where? Like Hasan Piker's fucking jockstrap? Is that the one she found? At the Democratic National Convention in August, she acquired credentials to attend as a content creator, not as a reporter for the Post. She is... Oh my... Dude. The DNC. She's a fucking YouTuber at the DNC and not as a reporter. Holy shit. She had mused to associates about leaving the paper after November's elections for an independent career. She tells the NPR that she had several offers this month that she didn't want to say no to, and she had been advised not to launch in November right before the holidays. Even so, according to the counterparts and colleagues she had known at the various points in her career, Lorenz has now, until now, placed great stock in her affiliation with major mainstream news outlets. She reported for the Atlantic magazine and the New York Times before joining the Post, yet she has constantly tangled online with critics in a way that tested social media policies for those outlets. Both newspapers have struggled with policies seeking to regulate their journalists' social media postings on contentious issues. At the Post, Lorenz was designated as a columnist, giving her more leeway for personal expression to print on her own accounts than a reporter who would have. Even so, her work for the newspaper focused on report. Okay, so it's very obvious what's happening here. She's doing crazy unhinged shit. They're trying to reel her in for both the publication that she's writing for, falling back on them. Being a journalist is kind of a difficult work when you're a psychotic influencer masquerading as one who has basically zero. What's the word? I don't know, who can't regulate her own emotions and lies constantly. So they're probably like, hey, we need to reel you in. And then she doesn't do that. So they fire her, or they mutually part ways. And she moves on to the next one to become a tumor in their offices as well. And no one probably wants to deal with her loud social media. If fucking WAPO publish anything disparaging about her, I have no doubt in my mind that she would spend the next couple of months just writing about WAPO. That's probably what they were thinking too. This is all my psychotic speculation, though. I don't have any evidence to back this up. This is what I think happened, though. I think that she was probably a newsroom cancer for the editors and the people that she had to work with on a daily basis, who thought extremely highly of herself and had a massive ego that was unchecked. Yes, I know.
And you know what else is massive?
Another YouTuber doing bad journalism sounds familiar. Thank you, Billy Mitchell. All right, I think that's probably enough for tonight. We might look into this further as time may allow. But I am interested in finding more about like Taylor Lorenz. I want to investigate this further. I think that more people need to know that Taylor Lorenz is completely fucking unhinged. Holy shit.